Hey, what's up, everybody? Gonna do a video on some iPod stuff, in particular this iPod, but also talk about some other ones. And just some iPod problems that I've found over the years. So this is just some of my iPods. I know I have a shit ton of iPods. Way more than this. And I got a good chunk of them for free or for very cheap. I haven't really spent a whole lot of money on iPods, actually. Most I spent on one. Well, I bought a brand new iPod Touch in the past, but I don't spend much on used iPods. Maybe like $30 at most. Excuse me. So, anyway, the situation I'm making this video about is this guy. This is a iPod Classic, or just iPod as they called it. It's a 4th generation model with the monochrome screen. Start it up. If it has battery life, yeah. Not a color screen. That comes up now. Just today, fired it up. Comes up with that. I was like, man. Now the thing is, I had used this recently, a week ago, about. I did a video on some PowerBook, MacBook stuff, which I'm going to put out after this. I've already filmed it a while ago, actually. I just never put it up. Forgot that I had it. But I had tried to sync this with some of the songs that I had on my PowerBook, I think it was. And it was freezing iTunes. Like, iTunes was totally locking up when I tried to sync with it. I didn't know what the hell was wrong with it. So I went to my iMac and I plugged this in, and then it synced just fine, the same songs. So I figured it might have just been a problem with the PowerBook. But then as I was using it, I noticed a couple times it totally froze. The whole thing froze. But I'd restart it and it would work fine. And now this is the next time I tried to use it, was just earlier today, and it's gone ahead and pretty much failed on me. So the hard drive's bad. Dead hard drive on this guy. I can put it up against the speaker, pretty much. So that failed. Look. You can see. Fail. Now, this had kind of weak battery life too, so I'm not too upset. I got this in September of 2018. That's when I bought this iPod. And I liked it for a while, and it was working pretty good. It also had problems later on, for some reason, with the headphone jack, where I was only getting sound out of one ear, but it fixed itself pretty quick, and then it never did it again. So this iPod, oh, there you go, a different error folder. It means the operating system can't be found. So this is definitely a dead hard drive. I don't think I'm going to put any money into fixing this thing, because it'll need a new battery and a new hard drive, and I don't really like opening up these things. It can be done, you just got to pry the case open. But for this one, nah. So that's dead, unfortunately. Less than 2 years later, totally dead. This is one of the few iPods I've had actually die on me. The other one was this guy. An iPod mini 2nd gen. Let me see if this has battery life in it. It doesn't. I don't know what the battery life was on this thing, because it only worked for like half a day. I got it and it died the same day that I got it, and it does the same thing, same error. So you don't really need to see it. You already saw the problem that was with this one. So this has the same issue. Totally dead, unusable. Now what's so interesting is this was January of 2018 when I got this thing. And it died, like I say, in January 2018, the day that I got it. And, God, a couple months ago. I don't remember when exactly, but a couple months ago, I was just fucking around with it. Just for the hell of it, I was bored. and I had it like upside down in a weird way, and I was kind of like whacking it and shaking it. And it came on. It came on. It booted into the OS. I could scroll around. I could access menus and everything. But then I wanted to plug it into my computer, and I unplugged it, and the battery was very low still, so it died again. And I never got it back after that. But it did come back to life just for a little bit, but I haven't gotten it to work since then. Again since then. So this is also dead. So that's 2 for the dead pile. Now here's other ones. This is a iPod Classic 3rd Gen, which is the one that came before that. The one with the separated buttons on the front. And cool iPod. It's a 15 gig iPod 2003. And this seems to work really well, actually. It does still have the hard drive working. The battery seems decent. I'm still doing some testing, but for this always had a weak battery life. The battery capacity in this model wasn't very high. So it seems like it's retained at least a good chunk of its original battery. Because I charged it in, I think, late December of 2019, or maybe even before that. And I fired it up like a week ago, and it still had battery life, and I was able to play a couple songs before it died. So I was like, wow. So this thing apparently still lasts pretty well, so this might be a good candidate. The only problem is it only charges over FireWire. I don't have a plug like the brick for it. Excuse me. I have to charge it on one of my laptops. Or pull out an old desktop, and it's very slow to charge from the computer, so I'm going to have to get one of those bricks, and then I think it'll be good. It seems to function fine, though, but it does have a monochrome screen, 15 gigs of hard drive space, no photo or video support or anything like that, which I would like to have, and the color screen is nice for album art, so that's a decent one. Got a Nano 1st Gen that I picked up a few months ago because the price of these has deflated so crazily in the past few months. These used to be really stupidly expensive. I haven't used this a whole lot. I'm kind of worried to use it because there was a problem with these where the batteries caught on fire. I'm sure it's very unlikely, but it is a consideration. And this thing is a very cool looking iPod. Love the design of it. So, yeah, that's that Nano. It's only a gigabyte, which is my problem. That's one of my problems anyway. I don't know what the battery life is like. It's flash, so it won't die. Biggest consideration is battery life and storage on this guy. This is more of a collector's item because just the storage is so low. So can be used. I think this is decent, but just not enough storage. So collector's item. Let me just put that there. And here I have a 5th generation iPod Video, classic, whatever you want to call it. And this is a 30 gigabyte model. It's the 5, not the 5.5. The screen is very scratched. I don't know how it's going to show, but it is horribly scratched, which pretty much all of these old ones are. This one has particularly bad, though. Trying to show it. There's no focus on this camera. Very poor focus on this camera, so. This button is dead. The forward button's dead. Other than that, it works. Although it has skipped a couple times. And the battery life is mediocre. So this is a nice iPod, it's just that I need to see about the hard drive and the battery. They're both kind of eh. So this goes next to that because it sort of works. Here's an iPod Classic 6th generation. This is actually the original 6th generation unit. A very glossy screen there, you can see. But this is actually in excellent condition. You can see me quite well in the iPod. Back's in good shape. It's just very good shape. Only thing is, there's a little dot, and that was larger before. From my knowledge, it is the battery expanding on the inside, and the battery life on this is pretty poor, and also the screen backlight is extremely uneven. Like, it looks really bright in parts. So, it's sort of messed up. So that's kind of messed up, but it does look pretty cool. 80 gigabytes, that one is. So, this kind of works. I was disappointed to find that it had a couple of problems with it. I'll have to do more testing on it. This was another one of the free iPods that I got. This is one of my favorites. It's an iPod Classic 7th generation, as they call it. It's just the 6th gen, second revision. That back's in very rough shape. This has been used a lot. It's the 160 gigabyte model. And battery life seems pretty good. I can actually fire this one up. Just curious what's playing on it. Classic. Okay. But this works very well. This is my iPod. This is the one that I use as my main iPod. But the screen is kind of fucked up. I don't know how it's going to show up. See if there's a bunch of little dots, like dust on the screen there. That is trapped under the LCD, the plastic here. So I can't clean it unless I rip it apart. And to take these ones apart is a real bitch. So I'm not going to take it apart just to get rid of the dust. No way. Although the seams are kind of wide open, so it might be a little easier to open. I'm still not going to do it. But this works pretty well, and it has huge storage. So this is my main iPod. And I use this one not every day. A couple times every week I use that thing still. And then I have an iPod Touch. First generation. I don't know if this is going to turn on even. Battery, I'm not 100% sure how it is, if it's degraded much since I used it. This is unfortunate. When I got it, it worked perfectly, but the home button broke. It doesn't click at all anymore. It's just like stuck down in there. Now if I hold really hard on it, it'll work, but it hurts. It actually hurts my thumb to do it. So that's not really practical. And there's a weird problem that these older Apple, like the touchscreen devices have. Same with the iPhones that I have. I have iPhone 3G and a first gen, like a 2G iPhone, that both have this problem. The screen just feels wet. It feels wet all the time. Just feels like there's liquid on it. It doesn't feel smooth at all. It's like resistance. You can hear my thumb on it. Well, I don't know if you can hear it on the video, but I can hear it. So it's not very pleasant to touch the screen because it feels like it's all wet and slippery, even though it's not. Like, my fingers are not wet at all, but this just feels wet. And I have, of course, cleaned it. And I believe it's because it wears away at the glass or something similar, because there's no oleophobic coating, so it does it a lot easier. And it's quite annoying. And there's a couple of other newer devices I have that, but to a much lesser extent. So I do have other iPods, other ones that I've shown on this channel, but most of them are messed up. Like one of my old Nanos, there was the one with the dead battery. Dead battery, which basically makes it pointless as an iPod. And the other one, the battery's getting really bad, and the headphone jack is dying, so, which is a damn shame, but it is what it is. So out of all of these, I think these two work the best, the 3rd gen and the 7th. This seems to work okay, that works okay, and this works And this one I'm not really sure about. These are dead, so. I have a few other ones that are pretty bad, like my 1st generation Shuffle. The battery's just destroyed, so it's a Shuffle. You can't really use that thing while charging it, so pretty much just crap. One day I think I'm gonna crack this guy open and put a compact flash card in it. And maybe this one eventually. But I don't want to buy another iPod because I don't really need another iPod. But I'd like to get one that's just perfect. Like, everything is perfect with it. Because all of these have some sort of problem. Either they're too old to have some functionality, like this guy, and questionable health. Very scratched up screen, so very, like, not really worth watching videos, looking at photos, anything like that. And for album artwork, it's no good. Fire hazard, too little space. Tiny screen, no video. Horrible battery, messed up screen. Possible battery bloating. Messed up screen. Messed up screen and home button. So, and I don't really want to use an iPod Touch for music because it's not fabulous for that, in my opinion. So yeah, they all kind of have problems, but this is obviously the best one. Slightly messed up screen. And then this one is just old. So, yeah, I just thought that might have been a little interesting video. I can't really think of anything to make other than these showcase videos. But yeah, more dead tech. God, so I lost the hard drive in that guy. And this guy. And then in the past I've lost this guy. Lost my one iBook G3, I lost that thing. My oldest Mac was that. That may change soon, I'll just say. But I lost, this is bullshit, man. We're going old school. Halo. Original Halo. Does not work. It worked when I got it. It worked for years after I got it, and now it does not read at all. I haven't scratched it one bit. The disc is near mint condition, but it just doesn't work. My Gears of War copy there, the second disc doesn't work, but it's in fantastic condition as well. So I don't know why this shit doesn't work. My PSP, oh shit. Should we show this on video? Let's show it on video. I want to see if it'll turn on. Oh, there you go. Ah. The screen, there's lines in the screen. Oh, it's changing colors. You see it does that. Oh, and it is flickering. That is flickering. If I do some pressure. Yeah, look at that. So that's fucked. It still works fine. Other than that, man, it works perfect. But yeah, there's the old PSP screen. I'm not sure if it's the backlight, not backlight, if it's the cable coming loose for the screen, like the ribbon cable's coming loose, or the screen's bad. The warranty sticker is like glued to the case at this point because it's so old, so I'm hesitant to open it, but if it gets much worse, I'll probably open it. But yeah, that's fucked up technology for you guys. Now, I haven't shown the PSP in a long damn time because I didn't have it working. Also, the charger port's missing a chunk out of it. My charger is also missing a chunk out of it. And I'm not sure which one is causing the problems that I'm having with it because it has a hard time charging. You have to hold it in a very specific way. And I'm not sure whether it's the charger being broken or the PSP's charge hole being broken. It's a good question. It almost seems like it is the charger to me. But yeah, so that's just some messed up technology. My camera has a dead pixel in it. I'm not going to say where because it'll bug you forever if you watch my videos, but there's a dead pixel in my camera. The DVD drive. Is this plugged in? Yes, it is. Oh, came open that time. You got to give it a whack. You know, I made a video about this a long time ago when I first got it, over 3 years ago. Working fine now, which is weird. The more regularly you open it and more regularly you use it, the more likely it is to open the next time you use the system. I think it's because the rubber band in it's all stretched out and it's unreliable now. Like I say, if you give it a good whack, it'll come open, or you just like press really hard on it as it opens, it will usually pop open. If you put it on its side, it doesn't open at all. So I'm trying to think if there's any other tech that's fucked up. My TV. Just showing all my messed up tech. Well, I got so much of it that we're just going to show the stuff that like half-ass works. Blue dots in my TV. Very old issue. The speakers are getting kind of blown out in it as well. The speakers in that are kind of blown out as well. On that side, they're blown out. And of course, you guys know about the AV jack problem. I did a video on that. Laptop, which I'm using as a hard drive. And that thing is totally fucked up. But it works for this purpose. So I'm using that computer to power this thing, pretty much. Got a scratch in that monitor forever. That is a huge scratch. This isn't plugged in, but yeah, that's pretty good. Is there anything else that's messed up? This was really messed up when I got it, but I fixed it up pretty good. This is pretty good. Yes, I have a lot of shit, and I'm planning on getting rid of some of it. Anything else that's fucked up? Oh, there was that monitor that I just got on its side. Yeah, see if you can get portrait. So, yeah, that's pretty much it for the video. Just some fucked up stuff, mostly about iPods, but if any of you guys still use iPods or care about them whatsoever, I know nobody really does anymore because they all have their phones with Spotify or Apple Music or whatever. And now there is an argument to be made for using Spotify over something like this. But I like to own my music, you know. I mean, I got a lot of this stuff a long time ago, and there's way more than this, and of course a lot of stuff that I bought on iTunes or from other means that I have on these iPods, and I've had the files for years. I've had the same stuff for years, man. I will never lose the music. You can download from Spotify, but I don't know if they give you like the actual file. I think it's only like a temporary, like if your subscription runs out, I think you lose it. I'm not sure, but I think. But here, man, a CD, I talked about this before, a CD is so versatile. I mean, you can use this for everything, man. Play it in a sound system like this, a CD player, your car, CD player. Pop it in a computer, you can play it from the computer CD player. You can rip it to your computer, have it on your computer, listen to it on your computer with a sound system plugged into it. Put it in a DVD player, listen to it on your home theater system. Use a computer to put it on an iPod or another MP3 player and have it on there. And you can rip it so many different ways, man. You can have so many different file types. You can make it lossless stuff. You can make it really high quality files. Now there is obviously a limit to how good you can make a CD file sound when you rip it, but you can get pretty damn good. You know, it takes up a lot of space. But that's why I like CDs, and that's one of the things is that a lot of the music on these iPods comes from the CDs. And even the stuff that I've purchased on iTunes, man, I've had them for years and years. And I'll never lose them. So this is the way that I like to do it. Everybody's free to their own preference here, but this is just the way that I've done it. So yeah, hope y'all enjoyed this video. If anybody's also done an SSD mod in one of these, let me know, because that's something, if I ever do open either of these, it's going to get some sort of flash memory put in them. So same with that one. If I ever have to open that one, I will as well. So yep, catch you guys later.